Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Well, today was absolutely freaking insane. Bitcoin above $89,000. Folks, do you realize that since the election, which is what triggered us all, once the election was over, actually even technically several hours before it was over, that's when the rally started, Bitcoin has now increased in price from where it was then to its most recent peak above 89K. It has increased by over $15,000. Now, this is a good example of why I say, and it applies to Bitcoin, XRP, name your coin, you either have exposure when the stuff happens or you don't. This is not what happens most of the time that you're in crypto, but when it does happen, oh my God, it's fun. This is the type of stuff that results in life-changing wealth. And let me tell you this, XRP is about to be worth way, way, way more than it is right now. The entire market is going to go, and XRP is undervalued. That's my opinion. So I'm going to share with you perspective from a number of XRP analysts, and not just that. I want to talk about the broader market as well, because this whole thing's moving in tandem, and this is what we've been waiting for. But before going any further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 7:04 p.m. Central Time, which is my time zone, on Monday, November 11th, 2024. XRP is at 61 cents. You'll love to see it. And I will note that it is currently up over the last 7 days, up 21%. It's up, think about that, 21%. And this is before XRP has really even started to run. But you do love to see that because it is moving in tandem with the rest of the market. That's not what dead coins do. Here you have Bitcoin, $88,856. 24-hour high and all-time high, same number, another all-time high today, $89,367. It's like it was going up by 1,000 every hour at one point, it seemed. And then finally, when we had like more than an hour where it didn't pass, people are joking like, well, it's been an hour and it's not up by another 1,000. I guess the bull run's over. We get spoiled in these moments. We really do get spoiled in these moments. But Bitcoin up 30% over the last 7 days. Absolutely incredible stuff. It's happening at a time when historically we should have expected it. Like I was saying in the weeks and months leading up to this, historically after the elections are over, every 4 years, that's the period of time where it can take off. Doesn't mean it literally has to be the same day, but the market has spoken. The market likes the results. Them's the facts, or else this wouldn't happen. And here we have Bitcoin just poked above $89,000 yet again. Not surprisingly, you have the Crypto Fear and Greed Index in extreme greed at 80 out of 100. Now, folks, even though I certainly anticipate if history's to rhyme with itself, then we are going to have a fun closeout to 2024, and I would anticipate this continues into 2025 at this point. Just keep in mind, even though these days are an absolute blast, this is what I live for, to be in crypto, you know. There are going to be pullbacks along the way. I mean, even in 2017, when I was brand new to this, and I was aware of this after I jumped in and started researching price action, like there were multiple pullbacks, even throughout 2017, that incredible bull run, multiple pullbacks of over 30%. Doesn't necessarily mean the party's over, and I'm not saying we're going to pull back literally from here. I don't make those predictions. I'm just saying those types of things are normal, so when it does happen, that in and of itself doesn't mean the party's over. I mean, yes, eventually markets do find a top, bubbles burst. I'm just saying it doesn't look like we're probably there, and I'll show you why as we get into the video. I don't think we're even close. Also, for fun, I thought I'd share with you this post that just showed up in my feed, and I thought, that's pretty wild. Just gives an idea of, like, you know, if you ever feel like you're late to the party, let me assure you, like, you're early. Even if you're brand new to crypto, you are early to the party. The parties, like the hosts aren't ready to have you, okay? You've showed up early to the party. It's very rude. Try back later. But look at this. A post from somebody, I'm not familiar with this individual, ral.eth, from November 7th, 2013. That's right, 11 years ago. And this guy wrote, oh my gosh, $290 for a Bitcoin, you guys. Where is this going to peak? And so he just reposted that last night, and he goes, oh my gosh, $80,000 for a Bitcoin, you guys. Where is this going to peak? And so perhaps there's a lesson in there somewhere, but and I even posted something to that effect earlier on X, because I was just reflecting about how the first time I bought Bitcoin, I believe it was about $6,500. And I felt like I was paying a lot for it until you let time pass. You let time do the heavy lifting. That's how it works when it comes to investing. And then you're like, yeah, 6,500, pretty good price. Pretty good price. And it even retraced after the bubble popped down to like 3,200 bucks. So that Bitcoin that I bought at 6,500 lost half of its value. Think about that. And then I just hold, and now it's 7 years later, and now $89,000 Bitcoin. The same thing works for like the market on the whole. So XRP specifically, yes. I know we haven't seen a new all-time high, but there's only an opportunity once every 4 years for a new all-time high. And that's it. That's when the market goes. Once every 4 years, we missed the last one, and now we're entering this one. I mean, we're getting closer to the blow off the top. I'm not quite there. Not quite in alt season, but my God, everything that we want to happen, all of the confluence, yes, it is occurring. Look at this post from the blockchain backer. And this is the Russell 2000, so small cap stock index. And this is important because we've never had an alt season without the Russell 2000 breaking out. And the reason, of course, is very simple. Humans investing in crypto in the stock market, they treat these asset classes the same in a certain way, which is to say that if they feel like going further out the risk curve in either asset class, then what they do is if it's the stock market, they'll get into riskier stocks, meaning small cap stocks, more upside potential, but certainly riskier. Same concept in crypto. If investors want to take on a little bit more risk, but have the opportunity for greater reward. Instead of buying just Bitcoin, for example, which is perceived as the safest one, right or wrong, it's how it's perceived, people then start purchasing altcoins, including XRP. So when people's attitudes shift, that's how they treat these assets. That's why there is that correlation. It's the same humans buying the same stuff. Like I buy stocks, I still do, because I think that diversification is important. I'm way more excited about crypto, but of course, and as expected, crypto substantially outperforming the entire time that I've been in the damn space. But still, I'm just saying, like, this is how humans are approaching this. And so the blockchain backer shared this Russell 2000 chart, and he said, Bitcoin set its biggest weekly candle close in history once the Russell 2000 broke out. And isn't that something? And so and just to be clear, it doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't run while you do see alts pick up speed. In fact, it's very common that as you approach the blow-off top, yeah, Bitcoin does keep running. It's just that at some point you do see this flip where, in terms of dominance on the market, alts absolutely outshine Bitcoin. And some alts are running, so that this is not an alt season that we're in right now, but there are a handful of coins that have noticeably been running, like Doge and Cardano, and I'm sure there are a number of others. Then there's also this post showing the plus and minuses of a number of major stocks out here. And so the Russell 2000, another great day today, he wrote Russell, this is blockchain backer again, Russell plus 1.6%. Here's the S&P heat map. Notice anything? Oh, and I certainly noticed something because this is all about rotation, obviously. And so I noticed that, at the time he posted this in the morning, that the NASDAQ 100 was not doing so hot at the time. And that's interesting because the NASDAQ 100 moves in very tight correlation with Bitcoin, specifically in the crypto asset class, which is easy to understand why, because the NASDAQ 100 is tech-heavy stock index, and then you look at how people view crypto and technology. So I get that correlation. But what has been leading the NASDAQ 100? Well, it's just been a handful of major firms, like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon. These firms down today as Bitcoin and everything else has taken off. So what's happening? Well, what we should historically expect is happening. The money from those stocks rotating into riskier, smaller cap stocks where there's more upside. The same thing happens in crypto. That's why this is exciting. So yes, Bitcoin, fine, going up, but even if it's not down to the same second, minute, day, week, whatever, these assets classes, that correlation is very real. And so you will see more money rotate from Bitcoin into altcoins. Even if the price is rising, that can happen. Like, people still take profits. And then what benefits? The asset class, a rising tide of global liquidity, like, it makes all boats rise, all boats. And then the question is, which ones are going to hit new all-time highs? Well, I'm sure as hell counting on XRP. I am absolutely counting on XRP being one of them, entering price discovery after hitting a new all-time high and melting faces. And clearly, Bitcoin is in price discovery right this very freaking second. Love to see it. So what type of magnitude are we discussing here? Well, Tech Dev thinks it's going to be absolutely monstrous. He's one of the most well-known analysts in this entire crypto space, 474,000 followers on X. And just this morning, he posted the following. You must understand the magnitude of the higher time frame momentum here. Bitcoin's 3-month relative strength index is pushing above 70. It's only done that twice before, ever. Both times, price exceeded the upper Bollinger Bands before that momentum exhausted. That band currently sits at $120,000, and it will move higher. So, folks, that's just a little glimpse into the future. Do not be surprised when we do see a 6-digit of Bitcoin. And the higher that thing goes, my God, the more money will cycle into XRP and everything else. That's why that matters. Here's a post from chart analyst Mustache, hashtag altcoins. It's finally happened. A bullish weekly cross in one of my favorite indicators. We also saw this scenario in 2016 and 2020. After that, it was only up for a few months. Isn't it incredible how similar the cycles are? Ah, yes, indeed. I mean, for those of you looking at the screen, you can see what we're talking about. Look at the previous 2 cycles. Look, you can see the relative strength index, retest period, and then a final breakout. And so this was a pretty long retest period, and maybe in part that's because price action was pulled forward because of the Bitcoin ETF action. You know, Bitcoin ETF got approved earlier. Multiple of them got approved earlier this year. And that's just the theory. I don't know for sure, but it's plausible anyway. But either way, we're at this moment where it looks like the last 2 cycles in that sense. The best is yet ahead. Things are going to get absolutely crazy, which is why earlier in the video I said, look, XRP is going to be worth way more than what it is right now. Like, not even close. All sorts of alts are going to be taken up, and I'm telling you, after almost 7 years of consolidation, artificial price suppression, when this thing goes, it goes. Here's a post from Stock Money Lizards, another very popular analyst out there, 138,000 followers on X. And the chart here is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin and ETH. And by the way, the rest of the video after this is all XRP specific stuff. But here we have hashtag altcoin season, sir. We are still not even close to the peak. If you think this is the rally, no. We will go much higher. The relative strength index will guide us to the peak. And then he noted total 3. That's the chart on the screen here. It's he says it's the market cap of all crypto excluding Bitcoin and ETH. The relative strength index, or RSI for short, is a momentum indicator that measures the magnitude of recent price changes to analyze overbought or oversold conditions. So here are basically all the alts that exist except for ETH's not on this, and then of course Bitcoin is not because it's not an alt. But look at this thing. I mean, it's just history rhyming with itself. If you look down here where my mouse is moving, the relative strength index, it's not at the peak. And what happens when it does hit the peak, when the RSI does? That's when you get the peak for the market in the last 2 cycles. It is what it is. We're not there. We're just not there. The crazy, as insane as that sounds, because it has, the market's been so fun ever since the election, but the greatest mania for altcoins, it's not here yet. And I do love seeing that some of the stuff that I hold is up substantially. But wait for XRP. It absolutely is a part of this. And I know some people are still frustrated because even as and I see this not surprisingly, as certain coins have taken off and just, a handful of them in a notable, a crazy way, XRP, although it's moving, it hasn't truly broken out yet. But it only has a chance once every 4 years anyway. The fact that it hasn't to this point, people are already bitching that it hasn't. You're like, my God, can you research price action, please? Are you aware that history for all this exists and people are behaving the exact same as you are right now in the previous market cycles? Could you please look that up? Because there's no reason to be sour about this right now. This is the time to be excited. There's this article from the Crypto Basic titled, Top Analyst, Tired of the XRP Hype? But the current XRP price squeeze is hard to ignore. And they're covering perspective from 360 Trader. I actually covered this post the other day. I'll make it full screen for just a second. But I have a little add-on to this, which is why I'm highlighting this again. So he wrote here on, this is November 9th, this is XRP USD chart. It says, you're tired of XRP because the Yeet Zealot's been bull posting every day for 3 years. But You can't deny the price pinch occurring here. It's 1,000 days long, lulling you to sleep. Now I'm telling you, the explosion is coming sooner rather than later. Yeah, so think about this. Even last market cycle with the SEC attack, XRP still did a 20x. And you just think it's going to sit on the sidelines this time. Now that it's consolidated, it's got legal clarity, there's more adoption, even more money flowing into the space. It's just not going to do it, though. It's just not going to go. That's ridiculous. As far as his expectations, he is expecting a new all-time high. And I hadn't highlighted this yet, but he was expecting $4 to $8, and he says not all at once, though. So we'll see. That's one of the more conservative price expectations. If it only goes to $4, I would find that to be rather disappointing. 8, I would say, well, okay. I mean, because I'm planning on selling most of mine between $5 to $8 because, and I've talked about, I don't want to go too much into this. It's not the purpose of the video, but I bought so much. It's my largest individual position, and I took on more risk up front so that I'd be comfortable selling at a lower level and it would still be life-changing wealth. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. If you want to sell higher, you do whatever you want. I'm doing me, okay? You can't change my mind. I'm doing what I believe is right for me. And if I sell between $5 to $8 and I'm out of my XRP and it goes to 20, 30, 40 bucks, I don't care. I'm taking the risk off the table. That's my plan and I'm sticking to it. Here's a post from chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto. Might be seeing some XRP fireworks in the short term. And by the way, we did 4 years ago. We started seeing fireworks November 2020. So it could be any day. But here he wrote, XRP massive surge incoming, similar to manner of Doge. Probably $2 target end of year. So don't think just because there's been a few other coins that have popped up in like serious ways that XRP it just means XRP isn't going to do it. Most coins haven't yet. Do you understand that, right? So just because the one that you care about also hasn't, XRP, doesn't mean anything. They don't literally all go exactly on the same day. Because money cycles through the entire space. Then there's this post from chart analyst Greg Crypto. XRP under 40x? That's manipulation. 100% in my honest opinion. If XRP does anything less than 40x after missing the last cycle, it would feel like pure manipulation and fall way short of expectations. Price target aside. Okay, I will add a little commentary that everybody's entitled to their opinion. It may feel like manipulation to some people if that's the case. I won't believe there's manipulation without actual evidence. I mean, who, what, where, when, how, how is all that happening? So if you show me evidence and it's compelling, I'll believe it. But feeling as though there is manipulation doesn't necessarily mean that there is. Sometimes coins just don't perform as much as we want them to. Now, again, I'm with Greg Crypto here. Like, I think that XRP is just going to be a stunner. So in terms of the magnitude of this, my conviction is in line with Greg Crypto's and thinking, yeah, even though I don't make price predictions, mind you, I admit I don't know where it's going to go. My conviction is way higher this cycle. Way, way, way higher. It doesn't make logical sense that it isn't going to happen unless we don't have an alt season. But look what the market's doing, folks. This is what we've been waiting for. I don't know about you, but I'm sleeping pretty easy at night. I mean, when I can stop staring at my phone, it's kind of addictive. You know what it's like. And I say have fun with it, honestly, because this is not what it's like most of the time being in crypto. Fine, stare at your phone too much looking at the prices. Like, I do it. It's fun. Just go for it. Have some fun with it. Nothing wrong with that. So anyway, then he wrote, in the last cycle, despite the SEC lawsuit, XRP pulled off an impressive 20x surge. Now, the unbeatable regulatory clarity, could we be looking at 40x or even 50x boom? Let's explore. Crunching the numbers, possible targets. 40x surge. From the cycle low of 28 cents, a 40x could take XRP to an impressive $11. So folks, that doesn't sound crazy. I've said before, like, from 2 cycles ago to the last cycle, so say 2017 to, 2021, ETH from its top of one cycle to the next top, I mean, more than 3x'd? So if XRP just 3x'd its previous high, that you'd be around there. You'd be into right around double digits anyway. So yeah, that's not crazy at all. That's very normal in crypto, actually. So I'm stopping short of making a prediction, but would I be surprised to see that? No, of course not. I would not be the least bit surprised to see that. It just hasn't moved yet. Then he says 50x leap. Pushing it a bit further, 50x surge could see XRP reach $14. Okay, also completely reasonable. And then he says comparing to ETH's 58x multiplier using ETH's previous cycle multiplier of 58x, XRP starting at 28 cents could skyrocket to $16. Okay. It's true. It just seems impossible to some people because it hasn't started moving with that type of force yet. But that doesn't mean that it won't. You know, people felt like Bitcoin wasn't going to do it. Were you here in January 2023? There are all sorts of people like, yeah, it's just going to keep going down. Bitcoin, it's at 16,000. It's going to go down to 12,000 to 10,000. Well, didn't happen. It reversed, and now it's damn near 90,000 freaking dollars. It's the same defeatist attitude. Like, the crowd just gets it wrong. They feel like whatever direction the price is going, whether it's up or down, they just feel like it's going to do that forever. That's why people miss the top, and they miss the bottom too. You know, they don't know. They just don't know what the hell they're doing by and large. Which is why, frankly, dollar cost averaging and then just kind of, you know, when it's time to sell, just kind of taking the same approach and unload a little bit on time rather than trying to aim to sell everything at once. That's why that makes sense. You just get broad exposure at these key times. And then he says matching Bitcoin's 21x multiplier, even if XRP only matched Bitcoin's 21x previous cycle multiplier, it could still climb to $5.88, still below 40x. And then he says if XRP hit $27, that would be a mind-blowing 96x from the cycle bottom. Could it happen? Abso-effin-lutely. You dirty speaker, hey Greg Crypto. I had to censor you right there. But he's right. Like, that could happen. I'm not getting no predictions from me. But could you see $27 XRP? Well, if enough money flows into the space, yeah, absolutely. That's why you want Bitcoin to go ridiculously high. Like, I'm kind of skeptical this would happen, but if you see like a $200,000 to $300,000 Bitcoin, my God, the amount of money that will be flowing into your altcoins, including XRP, talk about life changing. And kudos to you for being here before the retail masses have figured this out. Then we have this from Chart Analyst Cryptos, XRP bottoming against Bitcoin. So we had XRP at its bottom against Bitcoin on June 7th, and that still is the case. But it has come down a fair bit. It's close to getting back to that. So I don't know if we're actually going to hit a new low. It's pretty close. I'd kind of be surprised, but it could happen. Either way, as I always say, markets find bottoms. Eventually you do get the breakouts. It doesn't matter either way, but I just thought I'd mention that because I haven't talked about XRP BTC with a lot of frequency lately anyway, but it is still above it. So we'll just see what happens, but here's the cool thing. Even though it looks like that, and actually, like mind you, XRP's still up against the dollar, like I said, 20% over the last week. The reason we're even seeing this in part is because Bitcoin, like this is Bitcoin's time to shine, but yeah, alts are going to catch up, including XRP. It did 4 years ago at the beginning part of November. So, a lot of people weren't expecting that. But when it goes, my God, it's going to go. Look at this chart from Steph's Crypto. XRP's Bollinger Bands are at extreme compression. Brace yourself for a powerful move. Right. Most compressed in history. We're in a bull market. When this thing breaks, my God, it's going to go. So I don't care if XRP lost some ground against Bitcoin. When it goes, it's going to put Bitcoin to shame. Look at where we're at right now. Where I'm moving my mouse. Look at the previous cycles. When you hit this moment, like this is what it looks like before XRP blows everybody's face off and rips to the upside. This is what it looks like. Right here. It's going to happen. I firmly believe that. Just watch. The best is yet ahead. This is such an exciting time to be in crypto. I'm going to keep my eyes glued to the chart. Please tell me what you think in the comment section below, though. Are you as optimistic as me? Because I can't imagine not being ridiculously excited for XRP specifically right now, and instead just like bitching up a storm. Yeah, but XRP's not going up. Yeah, until one day you wake up and then it is. That's how it always goes. That's how it goes with Bitcoin, ETH, Doge, Cardano. Pick your coin. That's how it always is. Yeah, it's not going. And then you have people like that in every single community. But eventually, since the asset class moves together, eventually the coin that you care about, it does go. Chill out. This is awesome. All right, this is the happy time of the cycle. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because if anything I say are right, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.